Imagine walking into a cozy, old-fashioned bar, where you see someone radiating an unmistakable sense of energy and enthusiasm. That person used to postpone important tasks, lie around on the couch, and doubt their own potential until they discovered a way to banish laziness and take meaningful action. You settle in beside them, order a refreshing drink, and find yourself captivated by their story. In just a few seconds, your curiosity is on fire. Is it really possible to get rid of laziness forever, regain energy, and move steadily toward your goals without endless delays? Those first 8 seconds have drawn you in completely. This person exudes happiness and has insights to share, while you're left eager to learn their secrets. In this video, I'll reveal why laziness isn't an inescapable fate but rather a sign of mismatched motivation and desires. Together, we'll delve into how it arises, why the brain seems unwilling to invest energy in new pursuits, and how to outsmart or rewire yourself to carry out tasks with joy and ease. I'll clarify what truly lies behind the concept of laziness and how to collaborate with your dreams to replace tension with inspiration. Most importantly, you'll gain proven methods that help in the real world without burnout or heroic sacrifices. Ready? Make yourself comfortable because we're about to explore practical tips, psychological clues, and motivational examples that prove laziness isn't all-powerful and definitely not your worst enemy. It's simply a signal that something within you is out of balance. I'll share step-by-step techniques to shatter the cycle of passivity and turn ordinary routines into an engaging journey toward your objectives. Laziness has always struck me as a puzzling phenomenon. On one hand, people credit it with driving progress, since humans invented tools and devices to make life easier, yet on the other hand, we condemn it as a major obstacle to success. Observed closely, laziness isn't a collection of distinct traits, it's more accurately the absence of motivation. We humans must sense that we're moving towards something meaningful. If the mind perceives no sense in an activity, it quickly switches to energy-saving mode. From a psychological standpoint, each of us carries an internal scale of desires and mental images. We imagine pleasant scenarios in the future while the body measures how comfortable we feel right now. Imagine your current condition as a point on a scale ranging from -100 to +100. The stronger your dissatisfaction, for instance, feeling utterly fed up with boredom and idleness, the more powerful your inner urge to take action. But a vivid mental image matters, too. If you can clearly envision the reward, sensing how sweet the outcome will be, better health, a successful career, or an exciting trip, you experience a powerful drive to move forward. That's when laziness nearly disappears. There's a catch. When the mental image is too vague or fails to spark strong emotions, laziness comes back with ease. The brain essentially says, why bother if the result is unclear? Especially if your current state is not extremely negative, maybe around -10 instead of -100. It's not terrible enough to cause desperation, nor wonderful enough to inspire confidence, creating a gray area where laziness thrives. Meanwhile, our conscious mind often relies on logic and social norms. I have to go to work because that's what society expects, or I must work out because everyone says it's good. Yet there may be no genuine passion within. Thus, a conflict ensues. On one side, I must, and on the other, I don't want to, and I see no point. If neither your spirit is drawn to the task nor your rational mind sees real benefits, it's an inner struggle that typically ends in procrastination. A big part of the solution lies in learning to identify your true needs, then connecting them to reality. If you genuinely feel a physical need for exercise and want to improve your health, you need a clear, inspiring mental image of yourself conquering that morning sluggishness, feeling alert and mentally sharp after a run. If career advancement matters to you, visualize a future in which a promotion offers genuine recognition and freedom. That detailed picture boosts the dopamine in your system and drives motivation. We often forget how crucial honesty with ourselves really is. We need to let our inner self say, I truly want this, or no, I'm not actually interested, I'm pursuing these goals for superficial reasons. If the goal is contrived and lacks authentic desire, laziness rushes back, because your subconscious won't spend energy on something that doesn't bring genuine satisfaction or resolve a real need. A simplified model goes like this: we have internal desires, the subconscious with all bodily and emotional impulses, a part that recognizes social rules and morality, I ought to, it's accepted, it's proper, and our conscious mind that makes decisions. Harmony arises when you know your true need, transform it into a tangible goal, and avoid violent conflict with social norms and circumstances. Then everything within you aligns, motivation surges, and laziness fades on its own. Now let's move on to the practical side. Often, we must do something beneficial but would prefer to stay under a warm blanket. It's crucial in such moments to trick your mind. You can't simply force it. Extreme efforts often yield stress or a backlash. Instead, you should be cunning, break the large task into small steps so tiny your brain doesn't detect a threat. Suppose you've decided to run in the mornings. Your body hasn't experienced serious exercise in a while, and the very word running triggers alarm bells. But you tell yourself, I'll just get out of bed and go to the living room. That's easy. Surely that's not too difficult, right? Then the next mini goal, now I'll just put on my running shoes, drink some water, and decide later whether to run or not. Little by little, you find yourself stepping outside, taking a few light strides, and, lo and behold, you're running before you know it. This approach is effective far beyond sports. Perhaps you want to learn a foreign language. Instead of jumping to master 20 words a day, say to yourself, today I'll open the textbook and scan a couple of phrases, pronouncing them out loud. That's it, then I can stop. But once you've opened the book, learning 3 words doesn't seem so hard, then you might add a few more. The process becomes engaging from within. That leads us to another critical principle: consistency. By performing small actions regularly, they form a habit. Your brain gets used to the idea that each morning you do the same little things. Eventually, your body stops perceiving them as extraordinary or threatening and comes to accept them. Over time, you can raise the difficulty level. Today, you just got up earlier, tomorrow, you took a short walk, the next day, you jogged on the track. The key is to avoid overwhelming yourself at the start. Essentially, laziness is a defensive response, not a moral failing. Your body benefits from conserving energy, particularly if you have a sedentary lifestyle. But gradually, unobtrusive actions slip under the radar and train you to see mild activity as normal, bringing a spark of good mood and a sense of victory at each little milestone. Regular breaks and proper rest are also instrumental in overcoming laziness. Too often, we mistakenly believe that working tirelessly without pause is the best way to succeed. In reality, without occasional resets, your brain sends out signals of overload, and you risk burnout. Laziness can flare up more intensely as your mind erects barriers against new tasks to force a much-needed recovery. Naturally, proper rest doesn't mean burying yourself in your phone and aimlessly scrolling social media. A quality break might involve a short walk, stretching, chatting with pleasant people, or possibly a few minutes of meditation, whatever refreshes you. If you combine these breaks with a steady, moderate approach to tasks, you create balance, you expend energy and then replenish it. Another pivotal factor is meaningful activity. We often feel constant fatigue and a lack of initiative when we spend day after day doing things that feel neither beneficial nor rewarding. The body reads such actions as pointless, yielding no surge of joy or sense of value. Thus, we sink into apathy. One way to fix this is to find or create moments of inspiration in your daily tasks. Even if you're at a standard job, aim for a personal goal, mastering a new technology, suggesting an improvement in workflow, or doing something special for customers or colleagues. Observing positive outcomes, praise, thanks, or achievements brings a sense of gratification, and laziness recedes. Think about which areas of life bring you genuine delight, perhaps creativity, healthy relationships, helping others, traveling, or learning something new. The idea isn't to abandon everything for your hobby, rather, sprinkle your routine with activities that truly energize you. That way, even everyday tasks become a bit more interesting. Revisit your childhood dreams. As children, we imagined becoming astronauts, dancers, inventors, anything at all. Those dreams leave no space for laziness because a child follows passion, indifferent to the concept of should or shouldn't. If you reclaim just a sliver of those childhood fantasies, integrating them into small projects or everyday pursuits, you'll unlock a tremendous source of energy. Be mindful of the trap that sometimes our childhood goals belong to the past and might not fit our current reality. The key is to examine what originally excited you: the feeling of freedom, the beauty of sound, the thrill of performing in front of people. Then find ways to channel that essence into new forms, whether by learning fresh skills, presenting your ideas publicly, or creating something original.
Any activity becomes enjoyable when it includes freedom of choice and genuine interest. That's why you shouldn't hesitate to experiment. Test the waters, watch your body and heart react, and keep seeking what resonates. The more discoveries you make, the more willingly your brain supplies energy. After all, it recognizes that resources aren't being wasted but rather directed toward knowledge and positive emotion. You may wonder, what if you know what you want, yet still can't bring yourself to begin? This is where task fragmentation truly shines. If the issue isn't the lack of a goal but the discomfort of starting, shrink the distance. Is your aim to work on that long overdue project? Tell yourself, I'll just open my laptop to check if I have the necessary files. Nothing more. But once the screen is up, it's tempting to take the next small step. Another helpful tool is a reward system. We're wired to crave positive reinforcement. Give yourself small, pleasant perks like a good cup of tea, 10 minutes of your favorite music, a brief stroll outside, or a friendly chat as soon as you complete a specific step. Be sure not to confuse a genuine reward with something that sabotages your goals. For example, if your aim is to lose weight and you reward yourself with a calorie-packed dessert after every run, you're creating contradictory signals. Seek rewards that reinforce your progress and provide emotional uplift instead of undercutting your accomplishments. Of course, sometimes laziness stems from a simple lack of energy. Stress, insufficient sleep, unhealthy eating, and emotional conflicts can exhaust the body. In these situations, it's better to focus on replenishing your resources rather than forcing yourself harder. Consider improving your sleep schedule, balancing your nutrition, and scheduling a few moments for relaxation throughout the day. It's unrealistic to function at full capacity if your fundamental needs go unmet. Conversely, more healthy activity naturally boosts your energy levels. Moving more trains the body to generate energy rather than jealously hoard it. Physical exercise benefits both body and mind, enhancing circulation and triggering the release of feel-good hormones in the brain. All this, however, becomes meaningless if we haven't learned to listen to ourselves. Understanding what you really want is the key to eliminating intense laziness. When that inner voice says, I want to learn a new profession, and your whole being responds with, yes, let's do it, it's a genuine drive. But if lingering doubts surface, you need to figure out what's scaring you or pushing you away. Perhaps it isn't your goal at all but someone else's expectation. Ultimately, if a goal was imposed from outside, it's often best to adjust it, because laziness won't disappear while your nature is resisting something forced. Going against your own will is always hard work. People who live in harmony with themselves seldom battle laziness, they simply act because they're genuinely enthusiastic about life. In summary, laziness is the absence of motivation brought on by a misalignment between your goals and your inner needs, or by a goal that seems too daunting and vague. You must learn to clarify your objectives, break them down into manageable steps, take breaks when you're tired, and fill your life with purposeful activities that bring meaning and joy. When you start sensing a spark ignite within you, even a small one, that's a sign you've found the right path. Next, you must nurture it with consistency, habit building, and excitement for the outcome. Each small step contributes greatly to the future, one without the exhausting fight against laziness. Always remember, no one is born inherently lazy. Laziness is simply an indicator that something's off with your priorities or energy levels. It's telling you, hold on, let's rethink what we actually want and what we can do. If you address this indicator correctly, laziness transforms from a foe into a helper, pointing out where you might be fooling yourself or where you need to recharge. Sometimes it's enough to ask yourself a few straightforward questions. What do I really want at this very moment? What will make me feel fulfilled? Which steps can I take today? Tune in to yourself, avoid trying to do in a single day what might normally take months or years. Plan carefully, but don't forget to act. And in each action, find a little inspiration. Above all, treat yourself kindly. We too often berate ourselves for inactivity and, worse still, compare ourselves to imaginary ideals. This constant self-blame only increases the urge to crawl back under the covers to escape the guilt and fear of failure. Don't beat yourself up for occasional downtime, that's normal if you know what you want and why you're moving in that direction. Once you learn to befriend your mind and body, you'll realize that laziness isn't a death sentence but a minor obstacle that's easily bypassed when you live in harmony with yourself.
Believe in your goals, don't be afraid to change tactics if your old ways fail, and keep moving even when energy feels scarce.
Step by step, goal by goal, that's how lasting motivation and self-confidence are born.
My dear friends, I truly appreciate everyone who has watched and listened right through to the end of this narrative. If you feel the ideas about overcoming laziness and sparking authentic motivation are helpful, please support this channel, give it a like, leave a comment, and, of course, subscribe. Trust me, your engagement motivates me to share even more advice and personal insights. Once we reach 10 likes, I'll release a separate video on the specific habits that help banish laziness and achieve real success. Believe in yourself, never stop midway, and remember, laziness is just a signal you're learning to interpret and conquer.